Our rights are given to us by God, and no earthly force can ever take those rights away. That is why my administration is transferring power out of Washington and returning that power back to where it belongs, to the people. To the people. The fake media is trying to silence us, but we will not let them, because the people know the truth. The fake media tried to stop us from going to the White House, but I'm president and they're not. Thank you. We won and they lost. The fact is, the press has destroyed themselves because they went too far. Instead of being subtle and smart, they used a hatchet. And the people saw it right from the beginning. The dishonest media will never keep us from accomplishing our objectives on behalf of our great American people. Will never happen. Their agenda is not your agenda. You've been saying it. I will never stop fighting for you. I am delivering on trade, on the economy, on the Supreme Court, on the Second Amendment, on our military, for our veterans, and on our borders, where we are doing record stoppage. Thank you. And we are supporting our incredible police and law enforcement. We will save American lives, protect American sovereignty, and we will ensure the forgotten men and women of our country are never forgotten again. For too long, politicians have tried, oh, have they tried, to centralize authority among the hands of a small few in our nation's capital. I see them all the time. Bureaucrats think they can run over your lives, overrule your values, meddle in your faith, and tell you how to live, what to say, and where to pray. But we know that parents, not bureaucrats, know best how to raise their children and create a thriving society. And we know that families and churches, not government officials, know best how to create a strong and loving community. And above all else, we know this. In America, we don't worship government, we worship God. religious liberty is enshrined in the very First Amendment in the Bill of Rights. The American founders invoked our Creator 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. Benjamin Franklin reminded his colleagues at the Constitutional Convention to begin by bowing their heads in prayer. I remind you that we're going to start saying Merry Christmas again. True. Inscribed on our currency are the words, "In God we trust." But not only has God bestowed on us the gift of freedom, He's also given us the gift of heroes willing to give their lives to defend that freedom. You just stood. In every struggle against evil throughout our history, as America's service members have huddled around campfires and sought refuge in foxholes, they've called on their Creator for support. In World War II, when General George Patton, that was a real general. We got some Pattons today, too. I found them. Mad Dog Mattis, right? And he doesn't like doing a lot of talking, but I want to tell you, ISIS, it's a whole different ballgame, folks. They're going fast. But when Patton ran into a problem that he couldn't solve, he knew what to do. He prayed. Frustrated by rains that were stalling the advance of his Third Army across Europe in early December 1944, horrible weather, Patton asked an Army chaplain to come up with a good prayer for the weather. Patton then had 250,000 copies of that prayer printed and distributed to the soldiers of the Third Army just before the Battle of the Bulge. That was a big one. Did very well there. 500,000 American soldiers fought that pivotal battle of the Second World War. One of those soldiers is here with us tonight. His name is Harry F. Miller. Where's Harry? Where's Harry? Harry, stand up, Harry. Like many of the heroes of his generation, Harry wasn't exactly straightforward about his age when he enlisted in the Army Reserve. Shame on you, Harry. He was just 15, but he told them he was old enough to join. Then he immediately asked for a transfer to active duty. 6 months after he enlisted, Private Miller was on his way to Europe to fight for our country. Right. A couple of months after that, he was in the freezing cold. How cold was it, Harry? Cold. He said really cold. And driving range of Belgium with the 740th Tank Battalion attached to the 82nd Airborne. As the Battle of the Bulge began, Harry got his orders to go find tanks at a weapons storage facility. When he arrived, he says, he and his friends found nothing but tanks. They were all over the place, right? Nothing but tanks. But they didn't let the tanks stop them. Out of what spare parts they could find, and through sheer grit and resolve, they somehow managed to repair 3 of those tanks and get them all set for action and ready to fight. And before long, those 3 tanks were nose to nose with the lead elements of a German SS Panzer division, and that was tough stuff. In a short time, those tanks had knocked out the first 3 tanks of the enemy, and the entire German division retreated. They left. Good. That's good, Harry. That's good, Harry. Harry fought through the battle and the rest of the war, and he went on to serve our armed forces for 22 years,